Ballads hold a strong tradition in Irish culture. They have been rebellious in nature by either being in the native Gaelic tongue or shining light on themes of colonization and oppression. Despite being regularly suppressed by the English authorities, the ballad singing tradition persisted into the 20th century in Ireland, with singers performing in the open air at fairs and markets and later also in pubs. By no means all such ballads were politically motivated, but the practice tended to reflect political tensions and loyalties. This ballad was created under the political and working class tensions during the Thatcherite class war of the 1980s, known to be the beginning of neoliberal capitalism. It has become a working class anthem, a song that is sung at family gatherings, events, and flaws, which are Irish music festivals. A song named The Ordinary Man, to be heard and sung by ordinary people. I will interpret this song through the lens of Karl Marx's Estranged Labor. Estranged labor describes how labor produces not only material commodities, but it produces the worker as a commodity. The worker puts his life into the object of his activity, making his life no longer belong to him, but to the object. Work is a means of actualization and survival. One must exist first as a worker and second as a physical subject. It is only as a worker that he can maintain himself as a physical subject, and it is only as a physical subject that he is a worker. This way, the worker becomes a servant of his object, coerced to work in order to receive means of subsistence, which are wages by which he can live off. Therefore, the productive life of activity is to satisfy a need to maintain physical existence. To exist, you must work. In this song, a factory is shut down. The workers lose their figurative meaning in life and literal means of subsistence. They are stripped of their dignity and pride. You've stripped me bare, for there is no work today. This represents the loss of identity, purpose, and, life when the object is taken away. Particularly taken away by the capitalist, represented as the factory owner who shuts down the factory, showing the extent of the powerlessness of workers. They have no say in the matter. According to Marx, political economy is set upon property. The whole of society must fall into two classes: the property owners, the capitalists or bourgeoisie, and the propertyless workers, the proletariat. The owners of the means of production are the powerful, the workers are the powerless, a mere commodity. To quote Marx, the worker becomes all the poorer, the more wealth he produces. The more the production increases, the more the object of activity increases in size and power, and the less valuable the worker becomes. In other words, the worker's labor is just not proportional to their wages/capital return. The rich, the owner of the close to reality imaginary factory, can still smoke a cigar and drive a brand new car. He can take his family on a cruise, he'll never lose. Whereas the lives poured into the monetary production machine get no return. As the song puts it, when their check is spent, they simply can't afford their rent. In Estranged Labor, Marx describes the alienation of oneself from the self, through the channeling of one's existence into the production of an entity completely detached from them. They have no claim over what their mind and body produces. The spontaneous and constant activity of the human body and brain operates independently and externally of the individual. It operates as an alien. It belongs to another. Therefore, it is the loss of self. It is a process of self-sacrifice, and as Marx words it, self-mortification. We can witness this in Moore's lyrics, with the lack of self-esteem and high self-regard. I'm an ordinary man, nothing special, nothing grand. I never asked for a lot. I was happy with what I got. This is an expression of little self-worth, for this ordinary man, the worker, is detached from their creation, made to be thought of as a worthless commodity handed over to the production machine, producing profit only for the capitalist. And so condemned I stand, an ordinary man, like thousands beside me in the queue. Exploited workers stand together, one and the same through experience. We are taught to know that it is ordinary and necessary, but an ordinary man is not a prosperous man. To quote Marx in summary, labor produces palaces, but for the worker, hovels; produces beauty, but for the worker, deformity. Ordinary man illuminates the harsh truth of the working class and the exploitative nature of the capitalist-worker relations. The everyday experience of the many seem to be normal, but should be questioned and prodded at, for ordinary could have an entirely different meaning of free, prosperous, and self-controlled lives.